The strongest force is not the one that shouts, screams, or demands to be noticed. True strength is the kind that doesn't need noise at all. In the world we live in today, where retaliation, clapbacks, and proving your worth have become a kind of obsession, silence often feels like weakness. Society conditions us to believe that if you are disrespected, you must fight back. If you are overlooked, you must raise your voice. If you are attacked, you must retaliate. But what if that's not real power? What if true power is not found in resistance, but in restraint? This is the paradox of strength. Dominance is not won by clashing with the energy of your enemy. It is won by mastering the energy within yourself. This is exactly where Niccolò Machiavelli enters. Machiavelli, the controversial yet deeply insightful thinker on power, manipulation, and political control, understood something that most people still don't. He knew that the ability to control your image, your emotions, and your reactions is infinitely more dangerous and effective than brute force. In The Prince, he famously wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But here's the detail most people miss. Machiavelli wasn't talking about fear through violence. He was speaking about fear through perception, fear through the mastery of silence, timing, and control. And that is why today we will explore 6 silent rules for total dominance. These are not about shallow displays of strength or cheap mind games. They are about cultivating quiet power, unseen growth, and the kind of unshakable presence that cannot be rattled. This is the art of becoming unmovable while the rest of the world is busy reacting. So let us begin, not just looking outward at others, but inward at ourselves. Because in the end, true dominance is not about controlling others. It is about ensuring that no one ever controls you. Before we go deeper, I want you to affirm this truth. Silence is my strongest move. Drop it in the comments. And while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, don't skip any part of this lesson, because every rule builds on the one before it. Each step forms the foundation for something greater. Rule number 1. Stop explaining yourself. Benjamin Disraeli once said, "Never complain, never explain," and he was right. One of the most powerful things you can do in life is to walk away from the constant need to be understood. Yet most people are addicted to it. They can't stop justifying their choices, defending their actions, and begging for validation. But here's the truth. Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you hand over a piece of your power. You're telling the world, your opinion matters more than my peace. Dominance begins when you break this habit. Think about it. Have you ever witnessed someone say no without an excuse? Or watched someone make an unexpected move and then refuse to explain why? It leaves you curious, maybe even unsettled, doesn't it? That's because there's something magnetical most intimidating about mystery. Power thrives in simplicity. It lives in clarity that doesn't beg to be justified. Machiavelli knew this better than anyone. He advised rulers to act with decisiveness, but to obscure their true intentions. Why? Because when people don't know why you act, they can't predict you. If they can't predict you, they can't control you. That unpredictability that silenced it is real dominance. Now, let's bring this down to real life. Maybe right now you're growing in silence. You're changing your habits. You're leaving behind toxic people. You're building something new. But your success hasn't blossomed yet. People question you. They doubt you. They ask why. And your instinct is to defend yourself. But don't. Don't explain. Don't justify. Let time answer them. Every explanation you give is like a leak in a dam. And trust me, that dam is holding something massive. Here's the secret. People fear what they cannot read. They dismiss what they understand. If you become a quiet storm calm, intentional and unwilling to justify, you become untouchable. The strongest people are not the ones who argue to win. The strongest people are the ones who could win, but choose to walk away, protecting their peace instead, because they know a reaction is just a distraction. If someone needs to know why you moved, they weren't moving with you anyway. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is a weapon. You don't owe explanations. You owe yourself results. Rule number 2. Let their ego bury them. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "When the enemy is making a false move, don't interrupt him." That one line reveals a fundamental law of power. Dominance is not always about pushing forward. Sometimes it's about stillness, waiting, watching, and letting others destroy themselves with their own arrogance. Ego is a blindfold, and the most dangerous person in any room is the one who believes they are untouchable. When someone disrespects you, underestimates you, or tries to provoke you, don't rush to correct them. Don't rush to prove them wrong. Let them think you are weak. Let them think you are unaware. Let them relax and lower their guard. Then rise. Machiavelli taught that appearances are not about deception, but about strategy. To appear weaker than you are, to act less informed than you truly are. This is not foolishness. It is leverage. It gives you access, insight, and most importantly, it gives your opponent the chance to expose themselves. Think of it this way. The moment you start trying to prove something, you are already playing by their rules. And if their battlefield is ego, then guess what? They are already better trained to fight that fight than you. Don't step into their game. Let them underestimate you. Let them mistake your silence for ignorance. While they are busy performing, you are busy building. This is how life works in every sphere: career, relationships, social status. Someone thinks they've won. They laugh at you. They mock your silence. They flaunt their position. But if you stay patient and grounded, their ego will eventually expose them. The louder they get, the more reckless they become. And the more reckless they become, the faster they collapse. Have you ever seen someone so confident, so sure of themselves, that they started acting without caution? And eventually, it was their own overconfidence that destroyed them. That's what happens when you let ego dig its own grave. So when you're faced with arrogance, you have two choices: match their energy or master your own. The wise choose mastery, because in chess, you don't win by moving every piece at once. You win by letting your opponent believe you're losing right up until the moment you strike with precision. Let their ego build the stage. Your job is to simply wait for the curtain to fall. Rule number 3. Success is the only response. The Joker in The Dark Knight once said, "If you're good at something, never do it for free." And in the same spirit, if you're truly serious about power, then you'll understand this rule. The ultimate silent power move is to level up so loudly with your results that you never need to speak at all. There's something poetic about growth that doesn't announce itself. While others waste time arguing, clapping back, and chasing validation, you build. People throw shade, you build. People question your worth, you build. People try to drag you into drama, you keep building. That's the formula. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He warned leaders not to waste their time defending their reputation. Instead, he urged them to achieve so much that their results silenced their critics on their own. That's the real formula. Don't talk about power, build it. Here's what most people don't realize. The most misunderstood stage of your life is the one in between transformation. You're no longer the person you once were, but you're not yet the person you're becoming. And in that fragile space, people judge, they doubt, they mock. That's why so many people break, but not you. You build in the dark. You keep moving without announcing every detail. Think about nature. Caterpillars don't scream before they become butterflies. They isolate, they transform, and when they emerge, they don't need to explain themselves. Their wings do the talking. Be the same. Let people speculate. Let them doubt. Let them mock. Because when you finally emerge, you won't need to argue. You won't need to explain. Your presence will silence everything. And here's the funny part. As you rise, you will actually grow quieter. Not because you're afraid, but because you're focused. You begin to see that real change is silent. Real growth doesn't need validation. And when your transformation is complete, people won't even remember their doubts. They'll only remember your results. So let this be your mantra. Success is my only response. Drop it in the comments. Say it until it becomes truth. Because silence, paired with results, is the loudest roar you'll ever have. Rule number 4. Disappear to rise. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Withdraw into yourself. It is in the silence that you will find strength." Sometimes the most dominant move you can make is simply to walk away, not in anger, not in weakness, but with strategy. There comes a moment in your journey when the space you're in no longer fits your growth. The conversations feel shallow. The energy feels heavy. The expectations placed on you are too low. That's the signal. That's when it's time to disappear. But let's be clear, this is not isolation. This is incubation. It's a deliberate withdrawal so that you can transform. Machiavelli himself was not a fan of the crowd. He warned rulers that the masses are fickle, that the same people who cheer for you one day will curse you the next. That's why true leaders learn to govern from a distance, not out of arrogance, but out of preservation. Distance grants perspective, and perspective grants power. There is something sacred about stepping back. When you disappear, you stop performing for others. You stop reacting to noise. You stop feeding energy into distractions. And in that silence, you reconnect with your mission. You recalibrate. You rebuild. But understand this, society will resist your disappearance. People will guilt you, question you, even shame you. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of being distant or different. And the truth is they're right. You are different. That's the point. You weren't born to remain stuck in the same cycles forever. You weren't meant to be endlessly available to the same drama, gossip, and comfort zones. Your withdrawal is not a weakness, it's a weapon. When you go off the radar, you stop being influenced by comparison. You stop being pulled by everyone else's expectations. You tune back into your own voice. And when you return, if you choose to return, you will come back sharper, calmer, more focused, and more powerful than before. People won't even recognize you, and they shouldn't, because the old version of you no longer exists. Let it rest in peace. You don't owe anyone access to your healing process. You don't owe anyone announcements of your goals. You simply vanish, do the work, and then rise. Rise like the moon, disappearing behind the clouds, only to reappear. Brighter, fuller, and undeniable. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I disappear to rise higher. Rule number 5. Don't react. Record loud. Tzu once said, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier." Still, and here lies one of the greatest rules of dominance. Resist the reflex to react. Most people cannot control this impulse. Someone insults them and they snap back. Someone doubts them and they rush to prove themselves. Someone disrespects them and they instantly defend their worth. But here's the truth. Every reaction is a transaction, and the price you pay is your power. Machiavelli understood this. He warned that emotions cloud judgment. A ruler who reacts impulsively is easily manipulated. But a ruler who observes, who records, who waits for the right moment, that ruler is deadly. Think of the most dangerous players in any room. They are not the loudest. They are not the most aggressive. They are the ones who remain still, watching, taking notes, studying patterns, collecting information. And when the right opportunity arrives, they move with precision so sharp it looks effortless. That's the move. Don't argue with fools, study them. Don't retaliate when attacked. The behavior, don't respond to every jab. Record it for the day when you'll use it as leverage. This is not passivity. This is strategy. Apply this everywhere. In relationships, when someone tries to gaslight or manipulate you, don't debate. Observe. Record the behavior. Patterns reveal more truth than words. In work, when a colleague undermines you, don't react emotionally. Take mental notes. Understand their game. Use it when the timing gives you the advantage. In public, when someone tries to humiliate you, stay composed. Remember, they're exposing their insecurity, not your weakness. This discipline isn't about being cold, it's about being clear. You are not a puppet. You are not on strings. You don't dance when someone pulls. Your power is in choosing when and if you respond at all. While others waste their energy reacting to everything, you're building a memory bank, a strategy, a legacy. And when the right moment comes, your strike will look like luck. But it wasn't luck. It was restraint. Rule number 6. Kill them with indifference. Chekhov once said, "To be insulted by a fool is a pleasure." There comes a stage in your growth when you stop feeling the sting of disrespect, not because people stopped trying to provoke you, but because you stopped caring. That is real dominance. You've heard the phrase, "Kill them with kindness." But kindness still takes energy. Kindness still acknowledges them. The higher level, kill them with indifference. That is the final form of power-complete apathy toward nonsense. Machiavelli believed that rulers must not be distracted by petty insults or irrelevant battles. He wrote that a wise leader should appear virtuous, but only act when it served his larger purpose. That means ignoring small slights, meaningless gossip, and irrelevant conflicts, not out of weakness, but out of focus. Here's the truth. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every insult deserves a comeback. Not every rumor deserves a defense. The most powerful people understand this. Their value is not up for debate, and to the insecure, indifference is terrifying. They want to see you flinch. They want to see you break character. But when you don't, they unravel. Think about it. When someone tries to provoke you and you simply smile, nod, or walk away, what happens? They escalate. They get louder, more desperate. Why? Because your silence is deafening. It sends a message clearer than words. I am not on your level. That's dominance, not noise, not revenge. Just the cold, quiet decision to not even acknowledge the attempt. Let them talk. Let them gossip. Let them try. While they obsess over your silence, you'll be busy building something greater. This is the ultimate level of control mastery over your reactions. Mastery over your peace. That kind of control cannot be challenged. It cannot be faked, and it cannot be bought. It is earned through discipline. So from this day forward, the next time someone tries to pull you into a pointless conflict, don't defend, don't defend, don't react. Move forward as if they never existed. That is how you dominate, by refusing to even enter the arena. That is not weakness. That is emotional immortality. The final lesson, self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now, you've seen all 6 silent rules for total dominance. But here's the thread that ties them together. As self-mastery, every principle we've covered isn't just about strategies, about you, your silence, your restraint, your growth, your indifference. These aren't signs of withdrawal. They are the foundation of Stoic power. Stoicism teaches us a lesson that mirrors Machiavelli's darker genius. If you can control yourself, no one else can control you. Let them underestimate you. Let them gossip. Let them wonder. Your strength is not shown in how loudly you fight back, but in what you refuse to do. You don't react. You don't beg. You don't explain. You don't waste your empire on petty wars. You build it in silence. The Stoics believed that the greatest victory is not over others, but over the self. The real enemy is not the world, not your competitors, not even those who disrespect you. The real enemy is that inner voice, the one that demands validation, the ego that seeks revenge, the fear that craves approval. Conquer that voice, and everything else falls into place. Machiavelli taught us to rule through perception. Stoicism teaches us to rule through principle. When you combine the two, you become untouchable. So here is the final message. Don't fight back, don't make noise, don't react. Master yourself. Move in silence. Let your results roar. This is your time to rise in a way no one can stop, because they won't even see it coming. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their noise. And if this message woke something in you, if it made you pause, reflect, and recognize the strength of your own presence, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video. Comment your favorite rule. Share it with someone who needs it. And subscribe, because this is only the beginning. You're not just learning power, you are becoming it. Until next time, move in silence. Rule with presence. Asterisk, asterisk, you've now walked through the 6 silent rules of dominance. But here's the truth. These aren't just strategies to outmaneuver others. They are disciplines to master yourself. Because silence, restraint, patience, and indifference are not signs of weakness. They are signs of a mind that refuses to be ruled by impulse. Machiavelli showed us that power is shaped by perception. The Stoics showed us that true strength is forged through principle. When you merge these two, you create something unstoppable, a presence that doesn't need noise, a confidence that doesn't need validation, and a dominance that doesn't need recognition. Your greatest enemy will never be the critics, the doubters, or the haters. It will always be the voice inside you that wants to react, to explain, to defend. If you can conquer that voice, no one else can conquer you. So remember this: don't fight every battle, don't chase every insult, don't explain every move. Instead, let your silence confuse them, let your patience disarm them, let your results speak for you. Build quietly, return stronger, and rise in a way no one saw coming. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their noise. If this message resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more.